I use my phones for just degenerate videos only. I'm just screaming through horrible shit on the internet. Outside of that, I don't have too much interest in the phone.
Dumb,
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 dumb, dumb,
dumb,
dumb,
dumb,
dumb.
dumb.
Decisions.
All right, welcome back to Dumb Decisions. I'm here with Meacho and Red Eye Pharaoh, and today we're talking about the future of gaming, mobile games, because mobile games are actually good right now. And we all did something. We all picked a mobile game that we were enjoying playing. We had the others play that game, and we're here to talk about them and compare them and see that they're not actually that bad. So let's start with Pharaoh. Pharaoh, what game did you recommend?
Mine was cornhub.com. No.
Wicked platinum subscription, eh?
No, I recommended Marvel Snap, which I started playing, I want to say close to a year ago now. It was a while ago. It's been out for a while, but it's basically a deck building, competitive, turn-based strategy type game. And it's 1v1 multiplayer. You matchmake with someone random who's also playing the game, and your deck versus their deck, and you battle for 6 turns, and you see what you can do. It's pretty fun. It's very strategic, very thought-provoking, very fun to build up your deck, I think. And that's the game I recommend.
I like the Gwent-ish feeling that game provides.
It's kind of like Gwen, right?
Yeah, it's similar to Gwent. Gwent, by the way, is just a card game from the Witcher franchise, made prevalent by having a multitude of different cards that benefit and support one another, while also having the ability to attack your enemy. And it all revolves around who has the most points at the end of the round. Well, similarly in Marvel Snap, it revolves around who has the most points to win the game. However, there are these territories. There's 3 of them, and each one of them have a different type of an effect. That's also kind of like on a roulette. You don't really know what each one's going to be every game. They're shifting. And then that dictates which cards should go there, because a certain type of strategy needs to be implemented, because certain cards have certain correlating effects with certain zones or territories. And you, in order to win, need to have more points than your opponent in 2 out of the 3 territories. Awesome. Brilliant. I like that it's slap a Marvel skin on it. Not cheesy, corny Marvel now, but, cool, old school comic Marvel. It's a good game. It's a solid game.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. Meacho, you also recommended a game. What did you recommend?
Squad Busters!
Oh, wow, that was accurate.
Squad Busters, dude. Yeah, Supercell's newest game launch called Squad Busters. It's pretty new, actually. I want to say it's like 3 weeks old, give or take, at the time of this recording. And it's a conglomeration of all previous Supercell games, kind of in one. It's 9 players, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a free-for-all. There's a rotating series of maps, and there's a lot of characters to collect, and you basically have a small army that traverses this map and attacks either NPCs or other players. And the sole purpose of the game, or at least how to win, is to have the most gems collected by the end of the match. And you get those gems in a variety of ways, whether it's player-on-player combat, again, fighting computers and vanquishing like mini-bosses or mega-bosses. Each map has a different rotation of stipulations and circumstances that take place throughout each game, so it's ever-shifting. If you play the game over and over, you're kind of always playing a different game, more or less, because of this rotation style. Fast, quick match playthrough that they provide, but that's it. I can talk about it in great depth. It's a good game. They're doing a lot of things right.
Cool. So the game I recommended was also a new game. It was Star Wars Hunters, and it is sort of a just mobile shooter. I guess it's also on Switch and probably other consoles, but it's a mobile shooter that it's kind of objective based. There's some there's team deathmatch, there's domination, there might be a capture the flag, I don't quite remember, but you basically it's a hero shooter, and kind of like Overwatch, where you have characters that have certain abilities and you bring those into the match and you kind of just, shoot your way through to a victory. And it's kind of fun, and I think it's interesting. The games that we chose are kind of on a spectrum where you have Pharaoh, your game is clearly the most strategic. And I would say the most strategic and the less action focused. I mean, you're still doing a lot, but it's less action focused.
Right.
Meacho, you're kind of in the middle where there's a bit of strategy and there's a bit of action involved as well. And then I'm on the far end where it's just an action game. There's not really there's strategy, sure, there's strategy and everything, but it's not really like pick this instead of that kind of strategy. So I think it's just interesting that we have a big spectrum here, but I think overall these are all three good games. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Yes. I enjoy playing all of these games.
I don't really retain much interest in mobile games for too long. They just don't grab me. I'd rather just go play PlayStation.
Yeah, there's just other better games to play, and you really only want to play your mobile games in a pinch. If you're at the airport, if you're at the dentist, something like that where you don't really have access to the game you really want to play. But I think what kind of kills all three of these games for that purpose is you need internet access. So if you don't have a connection, like, you're kind of screwed anyways.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I was going to say is, like, when I did used to play mobile games on my phone, it was because I was somewhere probably without internet. I was on a train, or I was on like the subway, or I was at the airport, or I was on a plane, or I was, somewhere overseas, international, whatever it is, somewhere I didn't necessarily want or need the internet. But I could, still entertain myself. 2048 was one of the games that comes to mind that I played excessively. I don't know if either of you ever played that game.
I think I know what you're talking about. The square game where you combine numbers, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, where you push them over and push them down and left and right, and you try to get to the number 2048 and beyond. Or games like Flappy Bird or Angry Birds, or, games you didn't need the internet for. You were just playing the game.
Right.
But mobile games have now evolved to
Live service.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's just more live service games where they want your money, microtransactions, and the daily logins. Oh my God, you better freaking log in every day if you want everything. You better log in. You better log in every day. You better not miss it.
Every single day. Let's not be mistaken though. Microtransactions have always been egregious with mobile games, and it's been far worse in mobile games than anything else.
True. And I think they've gotten away with it for so long because a lot of these games are free to play.
Right. And it's acceptable when it's free to play, but I much rather have shitty microtransactions than ads in my games. Ads in my games make me want to put a fucking needle in my eye one at a time until I can't fucking close them anymore. These games, the microtransactions aren't that bad. So in Marvel Snap, correct me if I'm wrong, really what you're buying is the battle pass or seasonal pass, and then you can also buy, which most of the time people don't, you can buy additional copies of the cards, I guess, or they're not cards, they're called boosters. And what boosters are is they are like an experience point for the particular card. So you unlock a card for your deck, and everybody has access to generally the same cards, but you unlock a card for your deck, and then once you play enough with it, you unlock boosters for it, and you can buy more boosters to level that card up. And when you level it up, all it does is it makes it fancier, it makes it shinier, and it gives it a new cosmetic effect. And then other than that, you can just buy new card looks, right? Is there anything else that I'm missing as far as a transaction in that game?
I'm looking now, and it seems like they've actually updated the things you can buy, because before you would just upgrade your cards. Like you said, you would get multiples of a card until you had enough to upgrade it, enough points from that card to upgrade it. Now it seems, and when you would upgrade the card to different levels, they would change borders and change their cosmetics. They would become holographic. They would, whatever it is. Now it seems as if you can come in and customize each card. There's a custom card that you can make for each card variation, and it seems like you can buy borders and other things for that card. So they've just increased the microtransactions, it seems.
The customizability.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of fine though, because the game is still the same. You don't need to spend a single dollar
Right.
to do anything other than look cool. And I love that. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Star Wars Hunters is mostly battle passes and the likes. Nothing too crazy. I mean, you can unlock characters and stuff like that. I think Squad Busters, again, I mean, it's just incredibly well done because even the microtransactions aren't egregious. The microtransactions are really just going to help you level up your characters faster. And if
They give you free stuff too.
they do give you free stuff very irregularly.
But I don't know if Squad Busters gets off so easily. I mean, some of these skins are $5 a piece, and if you want a new character, it's 100,000 coins, which equates to about $10 for you get $10 for 110,000 coins. So I mean, it's pretty, on par with some of these other games. Now it does get a little bit of a break because it's a free-to-play game, but
Yeah, I guess you're right. There are skins. I'm looking at a skin right now that's like $5, which is a little wild. A new character, yeah, you're right, $100,000 gold. Sorry. The most interesting thing to me is they have these daily offers, and they're like free pass. And when you click on it, it's like, oh, hey, here's a free reward for you. And then when you click on the reward, it's like, okay, you get this one chest for free. And then if you want to unlock the second reward, you have to pay $1. And then the third reward is free, but then the fourth reward is $6. And then after that, everything is free. So it's like, in reality, I got to pay $8 to get all this shit. And it's like, you could have just upfronted it. And it's kind of goofy how they do that, but whatever, man. Make your money. If you're going to give me a game that's of this quality, and mind you, the game's been out for less than a month, maybe a month, and there was already a big update. They added a new map and new characters.
I haven't put a cent into this game, by the way. I've been fine not paying any money.
yeah, and that's the thing is you do not have to. With games like these, you really do not have to put any money into it. And yeah, at some point it might help you, like in some matches, win a match here or there, but for the most part, you don't really need it at all. You can just play without having to, and eventually you will unlock pretty much everything in the game without having to pay. You just need to have patience.
It really is just about speeding things up.
Definitely, these, like I said, this developer, Supercell, definitely knows what they're doing when it comes to making mobile games. So, good on them for that, at least.
Here's where I'll throw the game some flowers. One, the short gameplay, like the short gameplay loops, you can sit down, get a game out in 3 minutes, is awesome. Here's the other cool thing. If you want to play for 2 hours, you can play for 2 hours and you don't have to stop playing. The only thing is, so most mobile games, they run off an energy system typically, and I'm just talking broadly, but I'm thinking about Raid Shadow Legends. It's like you have 100 energy for the day. So it costs 10 energy to play a round, and you can play 10 rounds, and then you run out of energy, but you get energy for leveling up, or you can buy energy to keep playing. So I hate that. That's so stupid. It's because I want to engage in your game, and you're not letting me unless I spend money, and that's kind of dumb. So what ends up happening is you play 10 games a day, and you put it down and never touch it again. Well, Squad Busters does something cool. You're given 3 tickets a day. Or not even a day. Every few hours, you're giving 3 tickets. And those tickets allow you to open a chest at the end of the game. And the chest give you basically additional characters to upgrade your existing characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you run out of chests, you have plenty of gold that you also earn throughout playing that you can use to buy more tickets to unlock more chests. Or you can play without getting a reward. That's still an option, which I'm kind of discouraged to do. But the fact that it's an option is just huge because I want to just play,
right?
And it also incentivizes you to maybe stop playing the game. Hey, you're out of chess, buddy. Maybe go put your phone down and do something else.
One thing is the multiplayer ability, the ability to play with our friends. The social aspect of it, right? So, for example, Marvel Snap, if I want to play around with you, Render, or you, Meacho, I can invite you to play around. We can play a friendly match, and it's a friendly match against each other.
And we've done that before a long time ago, right?
Correct. Yeah, we did.
When the friendly matches first came out. Yeah.
Right. And they might have updated it since then. But from what I remember, you play the friendly match, no harm, no foul. You don't gain or lose anything. And it's just a fun little thing. With Squad Busters, you can invite each other to play a match together,
Which is brutal.
and you can destroy each other if you're have some form of communication, because you can't really, there's no in-game chat as far as I'm aware. As if you're on the phone or something or whatever it is, you can team up and destroy everyone else if you are able to. And then with Hunters, is there multiplayer render? Do you know?
I think you can invite people to your party,
Right.
but I think it's like it suffers the same problem Marvel Snap does. Is it's like there's no communication, and there isn't really a benefit to playing with your friends other than you're just playing a game with them. I think Marvel Snap is very much an individualistic game. Playing with your friends is just, I don't know, it's just you're doing it just to do it. It's not like really a focus of a game.
Right.
Star Wars Hunters, you can make it a focus of the game, but again, without any like chat, it feels outdated in a way. It's not like, now we can just play Call of Duty and be in the same lobby together. Squad Busters is interesting though, because you can communicate without having a way to communicate. Meacho, you, I, and one of our other friends, the Moose, were playing, and the Moose and I were talking on PlayStation chat, and you were charging your headset, so I don't think you were in the chat. But we were going around, and Squad Busters, it's busted if you can play with friends, because the entire point of the game is to eliminate other parties and be in the top 5, right? So when you can gang up on people, it's kind of unfair. And without even communicating with you, you and I were attacking each other at one point, and I don't think either of us realized it, but you could see the moment when we did realize it, because we were both like, oh shit, and we kind of like stutter stepped away from each other. So you still kind of have a way of communicating with your friends and at least seeing who they are.
Yeah, as you become more familiar with the game, you can easily understand that, okay, just keep moving and I'm not going to attack my buddy. Let's go gang up on this idiot.
Right. Well, what do you guys think? Like, are these games still on your phone? Are you still going to play them? Or are you ready to get rid of them?
I feel like I'll probably play Squad Busters the most going forward, just because it's the most simple. Like we said, the most simple gameplay. Just move and stop, and it's easy to just pick it up, move and stop. With Marvel Snap, I have to rearrange my deck, and I got a new card, and how does this affect this? And if I put this card in, it's like too much strategy. It's like I really gotta like sit down and focus to play that game.
Commit.
Right. And with Hunters, I don't want to have to get out the Backbone controller every time I want to play, and so like if I do want to play a mobile game, I'm probably gonna pull up Squad Busters, or if it counts, I don't even know if it still counts as a mobile game at this point, but Pokemon Go. Like I'll just pull out Pokemon Go, see if there's any quick Pokemon around me to catch, and if not, cool, I'm back on Twitter. So I imagine this game will probably last like 2 more weeks on my phone, any of these games.
Fair enough. Meacho, what about you?
Coincidentally, the only game I play is Squad Busters. I don't really have the tenacity or the interest to play other mobile games. I just fall off. But for some reason, this game is very much captivating me, and I'll sit there and play it happily just because I enjoy what it is. So I'll just keep playing that.
I happen to agree. Star Wars Hunters is really fun. I really do enjoy it, but it's going to sit on my phone because I don't want to forget about it, and I might hop on it every once in a while, but I doubt I'll put much time into it. Marvel Snap, I started with the beta. It has a special place because I love TCGs. I love trading card games. I'm a huge fan of Magic the Gathering, but honestly, when I start playing Marvel Snap now, I just want to play some Magic the Gathering, even though they're very different games. And Squad Busters is just a unique thing that I can play in between rounds of Apex, or I can play while I'm waiting for a revive. And I think that was the clear winner of this episode, sponsored by Squad Busters.
So I think, I guess before we just close it out, let's, rank each one. I think the consensus for all of us is kind of the same, but I think I'm gonna go. Well, Squad Busters is so new, and I put so much more time into Snap that I'm actually going to put Marvel Snap first. Then I'm gonna go Squad Busters, and then I'm gonna go Hunters, Star Wars Hunters. That my opinion may change if I end up, keep playing Squad Busters and I sink a lot more time into it. But in terms of how much fun I have and how much strategy I did and how much time I spent, I think I'm gonna have to put Marvel Snap as number 1.
My third is Star Wars, just because it's, I'm not going to play it on my phone. 2 is Marvel Snap, just because too much thinking for a game on my phone. I just don't have it in me. And number 1 is Squad Busters. Squad Busters makes me bust. It's a good game.
I'm actually gonna echo that. I'm gonna say Star Wars Hunters is last. It's just too complicated of a UI. If the UI was simple, I would play it much more and more often. It's just annoying UI. Marvel Snap is good, just not the kind of game I want to play, but nothing against it. And then Squad Busters is just fun right now, even though I haven't wanted to play it in the last couple days. It's still just a fun game.
Thank you for enjoying this riveting presentation on mobile gaming, conducted by Vero, Avocado, and myself, Meacho. You have a lovely evening.
Don't sound so happy.
What do you want from me? I'm trying to say goodbye to the people in a very sincere manner. What are you trying to do? Goof around? Hello and welcome to Dumb Decisions. Dumb decisions? Boy, am I making a lot of dumb decisions. Dumb! Ooh, decision? Dumb. Stupid ass moronic dumb decisions.